Howdy everyone, Warsarcy here, and today on Nostalgia Review we're going to be looking at Rugrats Scavenger Hunt for the Nintendo 64. This was kind of a weird one. Heck, I think I remember one day just looking through my stack of N64 games as a kid, and somehow this one just magically popped up in it, despite me never having actually owned it or picked it up. But now that I think about it, I can imagine that one of my grandparents probably got it for me and just left it in there as a surprise. A surprise that I thoroughly enjoyed, though. Anyway, without further ado, let's get on to what this game is about. Rugrats Scavenger Hunt is a game that many would compare in a way to Mario Party, as it has you traveling across the board, 3 of them to be exact. Angelica's Temple of Doom, Pirate Treasure Hunt, and my least favorite, Reptile Rally. I'll get into why it's my least favorite in a bit. The game begins with a cutscene of Grandpa Lou reading the rules of a board game before promptly falling asleep. After Angelica enters being herself, Grandpa Lou wakes up and finishes reading the rules, leading to the game's setup screen. In this game you play as Tommy, Chucky, Phil, or Lil. Angelica, of course, is the main antagonist, taking away items if you run into her.
My worstest nightmare. You better pay better attention to your cookies. I'm doomed. Just try and get your statue piece back.
Susie is an ally on the Pirate Treasure board.
Hey, Susie, help me find the treasure. Here's some treasure.
Grandpa Lou gives you cookies on the Pirate and Temple boards.
My day, babies get cookies.
And Spike gives you rides that maximize your move count and lets you move in any direction. The gameplay is simple. You start off by spinning the spinner, which determines how many spaces you can move. Each player gets their own turn, and when everyone has had their turn, the round ends and the NPCs move around. If they land on a player, they will give them the same reward or punishment as if a player had landed on them during their turn. With a normal spinner, you have to move that set amount of spaces, no less. However, there are toy cards you can find which will assist you in their own way, one of them turning you into a Reptar in which you can stop anywhere. One thing to note is that movement consumes energy on all but the Reptile Rally stage, and if the energy depletes to 0, you are brought back to your crib for that turn, in which when your turn comes again, you'll get out and be able to walk to one of the teleporters to a room on the board. However, you can of course prevent yourself from running out of energy. This is where cookies come into play. You can use your turn to instead consume cookies and restore energy. However, cookies are also used as a currency that can be used to purchase useful things, such as toy cards when you land on a toy card space. So you'll have to be sure to balance your cookie usage if you want some of those. Outside of cookies, you could also land on nap spaces that you can rest on for that turn and restore your energy. Moving on to levels, first we have Angelica's Temple of Doom, which begins with a cutscene of Stu coming in with replica Aztec statue pieces, which leads Grandpa to tell another story, where Angelica walks in and tells the babies that they are cursed and that they'd be sorry if they broke, proceeding to break them herself. Then after being told you must find the pieces before Angelica does, you are set up to do exactly that. You have to move around the board and land on search spaces where you can search for pieces. While on the subject of searching, you can find the double search power that will allow you to search twice. Of course, at the end of a turn, Angelica can land on a search space too and collect pieces as well.
No baby's gonna stop me now.
This stage, unlike other stages, has the babies playing cooperatively, trying to get every piece before Angelica. If she finds them all, a cutscene plays where Stu comes in to see the broken pieces and Angelica places the blame on the babies, who are sent to the cribs. If the babies win, Angelica simply says it wasn't her and leaves. Next, we have the Pirate Treasure Hunt, which is my personal favorite. This one starts off with Stu showing a pirate ship replica, and then Grandpa telling a story about pirates with treasure before, once again, falling asleep before finishing it. The objective of this board is to find all 4 types of treasure before the other players, making this a competitive board. On this board, Susie is an ally whom if you land on her or she lands on you, she'll give you treasure. Finally, Reptile Rally, the most boring in my opinion. And you know why I say that? Because you spin the spinner and you just move forward. Not to the left, not to the right, not backwards, just straight forward. It barely feels like you're playing beyond deciding when to stop the spinner. Yes, you'll land on spaces that will take you to another place, sometimes requiring a key. But again, it's more by chance, so thus it does nothing really to add to the play experience. You make your way up the mountain or around, and the goal is to collect the most candy, simple as that. It looks visually appealing and is fun to look at compared to the other boards with all the colors, but beyond that, it's just lacking in the interaction. So now that I've pretty much covered everything, let's talk about the review. But first, I'd like to talk about the reception this game got back when it released. This game got a lot of negative reception back in the day, such as scores of 3.7 out of 10 from IGN, 5.3 out of 10 from Nintendo Power, 4 out of 10 from the Electric Playground. Basically, a lot of people didn't like it. One of them even saying that it was boring to any kids over the age of 7. Goes to show how good of a reviewer I would have been as a kid because I loved this game. Hell, I still do, but maybe that's nostalgia talking. After all, this is nostalgia review. And why people compare it to Mario Party, I am ashamed to say that I don't think I've ever played a Mario Party game. I mean, I've had intentions to get it on the Wii U before my hard drive died on me, and I wanted it on the Wii despite not having anyone to play with, but I just never got around to it, as by the time I actually would have had a chance to get a platform with Mario Party on it back in the day, I was already an Xbox/PC gamer. Either way, when I look at it, I can understand the negative reception to a degree. Graphically, it's not the worst looking N64 game I've seen, but it could have been better. Gameplay wise, it's rather basic. 2 of the boards you race to collect the items before everyone else, and the other, well, you just spin and then press forward on the controller. The controls are simple too, but I mean, it's not like you're exactly doing a lot of things other than spinning the wheel, moving spaces, and navigating menus, so if someone manages to screw that up, then there's a serious problem. Overall, from a nostalgic point of view, I can recommend this game, but if you have something like Mario Party or just haven't played this game before, I'm not really sure that I can recommend this to you. I of course still enjoy this game, but again, that's just me. So if based on what I've told you, you think it's worth a try, you can always download the ROM and give it a try on an emulator. It's not that hard to do, and even on devices in which haven't emulated N64 games that well, the very worst I've ever seen with this game is the floor missing in the opening cutscene. Beyond that, it should work just about fine on any old potato you have lying around. So that's pretty much my Rugrats Scavenger Hunt review. If you liked it, be sure to give a like or some feedback in the comments section, and stay tuned as I still have plenty more for the nostalgia reviews on my list to go. This is Warsarcy on the Game Clips channel, and I'm out.
Baby can never have too many cookies.